Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod and the 40 unit save version. And we just got a few loose ends here on this beginning of the episode to wrap up so we can move on to our next turn. One of those is to get this army moving. Moving on down to bring the attack to the homeland of Genoa. There we go, and then it'll be able to join up with the few units that we have that we've recruited down in Savoy, and a few more units that we've recruited down in Venice itself. Another couple things I want to look at doing is, since our income has drastically shrunk, at the moment we're only projected to earn 6,867 with all the recruiting we had to do recently. There's a few territories I noticed. If you come over here under policies, you can see the grayed out territories, and I think I can afford to tax all of those now and still not worry about public order, so that'll greatly boost, especially Spain. I can't believe I haven't done that sooner, to really boost our income. So we're going to go ahead and do that starting in Milan. And that brings in another 2,751. We're going to head over to Madrid, do the same thing there. You're no longer exempt, guys. Pay up. That brings in a whopping 6,615 more with those taxes. And then down here in Algiers, this one's a little closer, I believe, and we'll show you why. We got some industrialization going, making some people unhappy, but the biggest thing right here is religious unrest in the territory. But we can still tax and barely hold public order steady, so we're going to do that. One thing I will want to do because of that, though, is we happen to have two priests, two missionaries over in this area, so we're going to send one of them, and I think they're both comparable. Yeah, 4 stars. I don't think there's any other special perks that either of them have. We're going to start sending them down. We'll take the land route, so we don't have to detour any vessels for them. Okay, he'll go that way. Yeah, and then next turn we'll start heading across the Straits of Gibraltar over towards Algiers. Eventually, also, I noticed in looking around, I did find another port we did not get any militia into, so we can't afford any right now. We'll have to try and remember next time to recruit some militia in Portugal to protect that port. It's actually kind of a high-level commercial port that we don't want to get damaged and have to repair. I think there's only a little bit left in the Americas that I wanted to look at, and that was... we have a rake up here in Upper Louisiana that's just been sitting there kind of forgotten, and we're going to send him over into Cherokee territory to start scouting out for us, seeing if we can see any additional units that they have. In fact, we just found one. Nothing significant, and it's always floored me. I noticed this earlier and never did bring it up, but Cherokee territory is here and here, so why this red border gets cut at this point when this whole thing is Cherokee territory, I do not know why, but that's what it does. The other thing we're going to do is, since we recruited these units thinking we might need help up with the Iroquois, I got some natural born raiding parties to send out into Cherokee land also to help us out. So we're going to send this army out here. And it can't reach anywhere else, so we'll just park it right there. I don't know if this one can reach anything to raid this very first turn. Doesn't look like it. So we'll head it up in this direction, maybe to raid this farmland up in the Kentucky area. So there we go. And I think that's really all the loose ends I could think of that I needed to move around and adjust. So let's just get on to the next turn. We'll see you on the other side unless we get some fun to pop up. Okay, an enemy agent has been discovered. Let's go find out where they're trying to search us out. This is over... okay, this is over here in... there he is. Over here in India. This is the guy that I guess must have before done some damage to these iron workshops. And then our rakes that we have embedded looks like... in fact, I don't need to go to each one. They still are successfully embedded. I think we know where they are by now. Unit recruited. We only had one VOC infantry to make my one stack a full 40 stack. So I can feel good and balanced and OCD calm. Alright, construction report. Like we knew it would be. It's shrinking still because we haven't had the funds to invest in infrastructure and income buildings. And we look like we have a death. Natural causes. Where was this? A general. Which general of ours bit the bullet? Well, at least he went out with a bang and a successful victory. We will wish him well. And what we will do is we need to hire another general. What a fun place to get your experience. Let's see, he is starting to move forces in this direction also, so we will have some battles coming up here pretty quick. I don't know that I want to force the battle, especially a fort battle with those kind of reinforcements, so I'll mull this move over here before we get there. And Wesley converts. The activities of a non-conforming minister are attracting attention in British society. John Wesley is the son of a minister in the Church of England and followed in his father's footsteps by attending Christ Church College in Oxford. In the course of time, he was ordained as a deacon and served in his father's church before returning to Oxford to continue his studies. Wesley became a member of a religious group known as the Holy Club, whose members came to be known as Methodists before traveling to America to minister to both colonists and natives. Although unhappy abroad, there was a positive aspect in that Wesley came into contact with the Moravian Reformist sect, and he pursued this connection upon his return to England. Wesley's own ideas about religious reform gradually took shape. And he has commented that whilst listening to Moravian's sermons, I felt my heart strangely warmed. With his faith redoubled, Wesley has begun to preach sermons on salvation and grace, often outdoors to huge crowds, as conforming churches closed their doors to him. So we have a fleet that has arrived. Let's take a look at where that is. This one happens to be... I don't remember which this one is. Oh, this is just the galleon that we want to get up here and get repaired. So we'll just go ahead and do that. We'll repair it right here, which is our closest port. And then the more important fleet to have arrived is down here. Now in the mid-turn, I didn't do anything with it, but the Genoa had that little fleet over here that wiped us out. And Russia came up here, attacked them, and then retreated. And then Genoa, on their turn, came down out of sight and apparently battled with the Russian fleet. So the Genoa, if it survived its battle with the Russians, is down here. What I'm going to do is take a couple fifth rates and see if these trade nodes are still open. Looks like this one is. We're going to claim it. Yeah, it looks like this one still is, and I don't think the rest are open. I'll take one more fifth rate just to explore. I think the British have this node. Yes. I can't remember. Someone has this node. I can't remember who. No, it's open to us. What do you know? That one had been taken at one point. You know what it was? It was the Russians that moved up against Genoa. So that's where their fleet came from. And then this one is taken, can't remember who. Persia. Okay, so we're going to go scout out that Genoese fleet. And if there's no. If they're unsunk, they're down there somewhere. We don't want to go anywhere. And I sure don't see them, do you? In fact, I don't see Russians or anything. So unless they've left the map off to another area. Good question, huh? Do I have any more fifth rates, or are these all four? There's some more fifth rates. I think what we're going to do is break off the fifth rates that I have just to have some vessels down here to hold the trade nodes. And we got our trade nodes pretty much covered now. And let's go hunting with this fleet. In fact, I'm going to send them over to the Straits, Madagascar Straits, to see if that's where they might be. And let's see if we can gain sight down here. Now it won't let us. So I feel protected anyway, based on if I miss them and are able to hide down here without us seeing them. If they try coming up, they're going to find some fifth rates to deal with now. So we're covered down here, and if they all did move to Straits of Madagascar, they got a nasty surprise ahead for them. Alright, so while we're in the continent, or since I went to the continent first, let's get our army moving here towards Genoa. Let's see how close we can get. Pretty dang close. So we're going to form up here. Alright, Savoy, we're going to bring your little army out because I think we're probably close enough to reinforce. Did they try to take advantage of us moving from there? And I wonder. Yeah, why not? If we can reach. Well, we can't quite reach. So I guess what we'll do is we will move these forces from Venice a little closer over here to Milan and leave it at that for the moment. If we take a look at what we're going to be up against, looks like we've got about 10 units it will be up against, and we're going to be facing with not quite double that. It is a fort battle. We do have a single artillery piece, so it's not going to be the greatest situation in our favor necessarily. In fact, we got some forts over here. I'm anti-fort, can you tell? So wherever they have appeared at the beginning of the game or possibly been built, we're getting rid of them. And I am going to do a little bit more well, what kind of units are we looking at here? All line infantry. So yeah, we probably should bolster up because these are the toughest kind. Let's just do that. I don't think we want to wait 2 turns necessarily. Well, we can wait. We're going to bring one more artillery piece after it's built. We're going to bring in the rest of these aligned soldiers, and that should get us kind of 2-to-1 odds over here then, which is kind of what I want. We got another 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll give us our force that we're going to want. What I can do next turn, even before this second artillery piece is built, we can at least lay siege to Genoa, and then when that cannon is built, we can move it over here and have our force ready to go the turn after. So yeah, we're fine. I think we are fine. Okay, we had these 4 ships that were also being sent back, and they're all 4th rates, I believe, so we're gonna just combine our North Sea fleet with these guys. And we are in need of an admiral up here, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and hire an admiral. There we go. And even though I know I have some ships that are going to need repair, I want to be the one to build the first second rate. 2,994, we can afford it. How exciting. The first second rate on its way. Since we're standing right by the priest at the moment, let's get him over. Next turn, he'll finally make it to Algiers to help convert and hopefully eventually lower the religious unrest. In fact, how's it looking right now? Is it deteriorating at all? Nope, still hanging steady. So we're gonna have our work cut out for us over here. We're looking at 88% Islam, 11% more or less Protestantism, so that'll slowly change, and as that changes, hopefully the unrest will start to go down a little bit. I just noticed those 4th rates I brought up. Let's just put the fleet into the port, pick all of them, and see who needs repairing. There we go. And then we'll just move the rest back out. Protect the port at sea. So we're running out of funds. We really don't have funds for anything else. So let's get over to the Americas for some repositioning that we may need to do. And the biggest thing we saw over here is consolidation. You're going to see less armies, or at least they're grouping together. The Cherokees are slowly getting ready to make a move on us. Now, had I been able to repair or recruit on this army? Yes, I have. So we got another turn to wait there. I don't know if I can quite move out yet. Not quite. We got to wait for this building to repair before we can hopefully have public order under control. If worse comes to worse, with only 276 in income, in fact, if we just do that now, yeah, it's going to be real nip and tuck close to whether we can move out. We'll look at that next turn, so we can come down towards the Cherokee Nation to help out. We'll take another raiding party actually from Niagara that I forgot about. Start heading them down too. See if we can't put some financial pressure down in this direction. We can't reach any others, so we'll just park there to try and do greater damage. And we will move over this way to do some damage here. I think maybe what it's time to do is get our rake embedded if it's possible. Let's see what the percentage, only 65%. Let's think about it. What's our chances over here? Much better with this smaller guy, and maybe he'll group up with the other one. We have successfully completed our mission. We are embedded. Can we see exactly numbers? No, we don't have the benefit of numbers over in this army. This one's full strength. This one has seen battle. I'm wondering if we should look at moving. Can we move our forces out of Savannah yet? Maybe not quite. We'll wait once again. We'll wait here also for the magistrate to be built. That should allow us to then start moving out. We can do, well, we'll see. Piece by piece moves, trying to prevent them from being able to go around us and recapture Savannah. We'll kind of move inland based on what we think we can do. Then we have this fleet to help bolster our armies. We have a few more units to pick up. Let's see. The units to pick up, did I park them in between? Yes, I did. It's only a couple regiments. Let's get this regiment moving over here to the fishery. We'll go back and pick up this navy, get them to the port. And we will load them up. These will be nice reinforcements up in Savannah. How many units do we have? Because we also have Genoa down here in Cuba, and they didn't have the greatest of armies. So let's bring our vessels over this way first. Yeah, this army is not strong enough to take on Genoa over here, I do not believe. Although it's mostly militia, conscripts, provincial cavalry. But with 11 regiments plus a garrison and the walls are back, because we tried to destroy the walls before they got there and we couldn't. So no, that is not the time to attack there. We're gonna have to come back after the Cherokee is what we're gonna have to do. The only problem is by moving against Genoa, that means they're going to have a territory in Cuba. It will become their new home. That we'll have to wipe them out there then. Along with one of the islands off Italy. I don't remember which one. I wonder, how much does it cost for the militia? Because we do have that one we need to recruit in Portugal, but I don't know if we have enough funds left. Yeah, not even for militia we don't. So we're going to have to remember one more time next turn before we spend all our money to go do that. Let's check out India real quick before we head on to our next turn. I'm kind of hesitant to get aggressive over here. Maybe what I can do, I'm actually not, because those two armies combined really shouldn't be a mega threat to us. I just don't know how many more might be over in that general direction. So let's send our priest a preaching. Let's go over the bridge with him just to get a sense on any other kinds of armies that might be over here. And there's not too much. 11 units brings them up to 35 units to our 40. And we should be able to stand up to them. So I think what we'll do is head over to that territory, and we can't make it in one turn anyway. So let's just head off into that territory. Is there anything? We can't even make it to a small area to disrupt. So we'll get to our own right here. And speaking of which, let's repair it. Actually, no. Let's dismantle it and make it into our own kind of building. We are gonna, if we have the funds for a church school, yes we do barely, we're gonna get that going here. This army is looking fairly strong, not quite a full 40 stack, but getting close. We don't have the funds to build up a magistrate. We're gonna probably have to do that before we're able to move out. Oh yeah. So we'll keep ourselves parked there for the moment. Except, what are we looking at here? Artillery. So 5 units. Why don't we take a small force down there and just see if we can't rid the area of this enemy? I'm not even going to take any artillery. I'm going to count on 4 regiments of cavalry to be able to deal with their artillery piece. And let's come down here and see if we can't make a statement, so we don't get more sites raided. And I know it's a tiny little battle, and we're gonna just auto-resolve. It risks letting them be able to escape, but let's auto-resolve. It was just a little too tiny now, and we did wipe them out. And do we have the range to move back? Yes, we do. Let's see if we are able to afford any recruitment here for our casualties. Yeah, we can't get everybody, but we can get it started. Then we have that lone VOC infantry. We're going to move down here. We're going to get him boarded up and move the fleet out. To get our army at 100%. Let's see if we get down here. Are we able to land right here? We'll find out. Yes. All right, about the only thing we probably have left is to see if we can trade out one of the ministers. Your choice or mine. We'll go with America first, just because we have more territories there at the moment. And nothing. He has help with the Navy, but I don't think it doesn't make him any better than this guy. Yeah, because he's going to be +2 where he'd only be +1. So, no improvement this turn. And then we get a big boost to our income here next turn. Look at that. They're predicting 25,000 again all of a sudden. Wow. That's what happened is Russia was blockaded. That extra 14,000 coming in big time handy as long as they don't get blockaded again next turn. And you know who I think was blockading them was Genoa. They pulled one of their fleets out. I saw that come sailing down from the Black Sea or wherever it was up there. Blockading Russia, I'm assuming. And heading through the Mediterranean, probably to try its luck down in the trade nodes. So that is our turn for right now. Looks like we'll have a minor research done next time, so we'll be able to pick a new one for down in Heidelberg. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, the Ottoman Empire would like some trade of technology. And I'm almost, since I'm probably never going to come up against them, I'm almost thinking I could see about doing some kind of trade agreement. Let's see if we can change the offers of technology, though. Let's see what he thinks about those trades. He rejected it, so. All right, we got a new Protestant missionary down in India, it looks like. I don't see the death icon here, so it looks like we picked up someone else to help us convert down in India. Let's see exactly where. Yeah, it looks like it's right there in this upgraded and newish church school. And we did finish the spinning mule. We'll go take a look at that in a moment. And we have our successful rake missions here, so we'll just go through that, make sure they're all showing the successful still. Yes, they are. So our rakes are still embedded. Recruitment report, pretty minor, just like our construction report, still pretty minor. But the good thing is we got some more magistrates coming online, so hopefully public order will be improved in both those locations so we can move some armies. We have a fleet arriving. Whoops. And I think I know where that fleet arrived to. I think the Straits of Madagascar. Clicked off of that too quick. Now, one thing in the mid-turn that I noticed is I think that big Spanish fleet kind of pulled out. So I'm wondering, yeah, this trade node is open. So why don't we just jump over here real quick? And you know what that means is we control them all. We never did see that Genoese Navy. You know where the Genoese Navy went? Look at our income. They went right back to Russia and blockaded them. So we lost that 14 grand in trade from Russia that we had. I guess their fleet disappeared down here, and that maybe is where it had been headed to offer some support. So what we'll do I have any fifth rates left? I do have one. So we're going to leave the 1 5th rate down here. And we're going to take the 4th rates all back out. Since this does have its own admiral, we're going to kind of make this fleet more of the Mediterranean fleet for us. And we'll keep the other fleet up in the North Sea and work it that way. And we have full control of the trade nodes in this theater for the first time in a long time. We gained a trait, +1 happiness to nobility. This is back over here, so I'm not going to spend the time to see who got it. These ships right here are repaired. Oh, and I moved the infantry, not the fleet. Let's put them right back. Let's get on the Navy. Move the Navy out, along with our new admiral. And there is the North Sea fleet now. There we go. I think we are ready now to start the siege over here. The question is, they will have the ability, I think, to potentially intercept us with this unit being here before we arrive, or the fact that it's just sitting there. I don't know, but they might be able. We may have an open field battle here coming up, so we're going to send them off this way. Forward! And they apparently choose not to intercept. We're going to come here and lay siege. And we are going to maintain our siege. It's pretty even is what it's showing. Because we want to wait for that one extra artillery piece. We'll bring these units to bolster there. And we should have a couple of units recruited. 3. And then the last one to bring over will be the artillery piece, which hopefully we'll be able to make it. And we are sieging. We did have a little history lesson up here. The occultation of Mercury. On the evening of May 28th at the Royal Greenwich Observatory, the keen amateur astronomer John Bevis was lucky enough to witness the planet Venus passing in front of the planet Mercury. Since Venus is the larger of the two bodies and thus obscured Mercury, the event is known as an occultation as opposed to a transit. For this event to occur, it is necessary for an alignment of 3 planets, the 2 planets being viewed and the planet from which the observation is made. Though such planetary alignments have occurred 5 times in the last 4 decades, ordinarily they are incredibly rare. Bevis is therefore the only man known to have directly witnessed the even rarer phenomenon of planetary occultation. Okay, we have our missionary on the way, and he has made it to Algiers. So we'll see if that starts settling down the unrest here, or maybe temporarily making it worse. We'll find out. And before we spend all our money, let's get our militia unit recruited over here so we can guard that port. There we go. I'm not gonna, yeah, we'll go ahead and just upgrade the building. It's an income producer. We haven't upgraded one of those in a while. And we'll head back to Americas now. I think I'm done up here. The only thing I didn't do is, I think, did we change our ministers yet? No, we're going to try the American cabinet member again. And we finally got ourselves a hefty upgrade. Look at that. Let's see if he might have a better spot. No, definitely not in Treasury. So he gets +2 to management. And for the time being, this is just where we'll keep him. So finally an upgrade. Okay, our reinforcements are on the way. Our magistrate is built. But I guess we'll probably hold off because the Cherokee have really started to consolidate their forces here between these 4 separate armies. So we're going to have to keep our eyes open on these guys. So we're going to land this fleet right here. Or the troops on this fleet. And we will bring our fleet back. And what we're going to do as we bring it back is we are going to stop right here at the commercial port of currently Genoa on Cuba and see if we can't lock them in. So he's got a fleet there that we're locking in, so that's good for us. There's no way he'll be breaking out. I'm going to bring the New Orleans force because they do not seem to be interested in New Orleans at all. We're going to bring them down this way towards Florida, so maybe if we have a chance when we move out, we can cut across and also reinforce with these guys too. Could be that we're going to tempt these armies to come down and pick us off. We'll take that chance. And we will continue our raiding parties over here. In fact, we'll just, I guess, keep bouncing back and forth. They'll probably bring some forces now that we're starting to get close enough to try and kick us out of these spots, but I'm fine. We're doing damage. We're costing them money. We're slowing down their recruiting. And with this magistrate, can we get moving out? Well, we're about to find out. Maybe we'll have to leave somebody behind. And yes, we'll have to leave some forces behind. No, that's our cavalry. We don't want to really thin out our cavalry. So we're going to pick up, we don't really have that many. This is a battle-tested group that we got here. With a lot of promotions. So we're just going to have to, the lowest chevrons are like 2. So we're going to put whatever our lowest troops are over here. Maybe 1 or 2 more units. Hopefully we'll do it. Yeah, 1 more did it. So we are safe leaving now, with not having to leave too many back. And the first leg of the journey anyway is slow through the forest. And since I have the money, let's do a building upgrade here. So hopefully very soon we can follow up with these remaining forces. And I've decided just to keep pushing. If we can move our army out, well, maybe not. let's do the same thing. Let's move them forward. And we can move them out, barely. So we're going to do that, make our first step moving forward. Even if they get attacked by the full force, I think we'll be okay. Actually, let's take a look right here. We got our rake was good enough to infiltrate with a small army and is now joined up with a bigger army, so we can get a better picture now. What we're dealing with. A lot of musketmen, a lot of deteriorated units. I'd say about half are full strength and the other half are deteriorated units. So yeah, I'm fine moving our force a little closer to tempt and see what may come of that. Now we'll head over to India here and see what we want to do over here. Now what they've done, well, they've got a lot of units over here. Does that mean they move them out of the city here? Oh no, that's just, now we're starting to face some numbers here. Now we are starting to face some numbers. How close do we dare to move? Because all these, yeah, we may just stay right where we are over here. Get this last unit over here and see if they aren't interested in trying to take on a open field battle over here. We do need to upgrade this building so we can be more mobile with this army. And we also need to finish the replenishment from battle. Yeah, it was only 3 more units, so. We aren't, I don't believe we're taxing down here right now anyway. No, we're not. As long as I'm keeping this army here, though, why don't we? Just to gain some more income since Russia's being blockaded. And now that we're planning on holding this area, if we have the money, let's start investing. Might as well invest behind where we are with this army. Let's get the magistrate going here. Yeah, these first level buildings are pretty cheap, but not that one. Yeah, at this point I think we probably have enough commercial ports, but let's just see. Well, we can't afford anything but the fishery anyway. And we already have the growth happening, so I don't need to go with fishery. We'll wait till we can afford a commercial port there. It'll be interesting to see how they move their armies. They're starting to build up. What I may do once we're able to move out here is keep my force in the south steady, tempt them to come into an open field battle here, and hope we can do well. And then with our northern force, we can hopefully come down here and maybe make a move against Nagpur. It's going to be very close here, but then we have 2 armies very close. They're going to have to decide how to split up against them. I'll let the AI try and make that choice. Okay, we've finished, I forget where, Heidelberg, I believe. Yeah, we'll just, that's the only next choice we have to keep in that same textile industry line. So we'll go ahead and do that. We will now have the ability, finishing that, to upgrade any textile mills that we do have, but we're out of funds at the moment. So I think that makes us ready for another turn. Let me just take a quick look at my list, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I think we're in good shape, so we're going to move on to the next turn, see you on the other side. All right, Spain is up for an offer. They'll give us a little bit of payment and military access to get some of our technology. No, because they still are a threat with that navy. I'm not giving them any more technology, although they're all for helping they're not military technologies though. So what the heck? Let's go do it just to get a little extra funds. It's really not in our favor. Let's try and since it's not a military technology, we'll just go ahead and do it. Alright, and Genoa has decided to make the attempt to come out and break the siege. Looks like we... Oh, no, that's not it. I guess we have the option to intercept is what we have. He's moving his lone army to try and probably join the defenses. So we're going to force an open field battle. The reinforcements cannot bring the mortars. Now is the time to weaken these forces down. So this is our battle. We will see you on the battlefield. All right, lovely day for a battle. This is a gentle rolling hills kind of a setup. And it's hard to know for sure. Now, if we were having the same orientation as things are on the map, that one little force is here, and the city, if we're facing to the south, would be off this way. So my best guess is reinforcements will be arriving on this side. So we won't take advantage of this L. In fact, we'll kind of maybe curve our line off that way, and I could be totally wrong. I don't know how accurate this particular game is. I guess we'll get a sense as far as the battlefield having good orientation versus the strategic map. So I'm going to set up the forces, see what I got, see where I got my best lines of sight, and we'll come right on back. Okay, this is how we're going to set up. The artillery is in the back row, but they're slightly up the hill, so I feel we have good opportunity to shoot over and not have to worry about hitting our troops, seeing we're slightly above them, just over the crest of the hill. It gives us good range of the deployment zone. It also gives us decent-ish range over here. The artillery is not the one that's going to make a difference necessarily with only one regiment on this battle. I enfiladed over on this side, thinking the reinforcements may come to this side. We may be wrong, but that's what I'm playing for. I got 3 out of my 5 reserve regiments on this side, reserve or cavalry on this wing, cavalry on the other wing also, and that's how we're set up. Let's just hope they don't come in right behind us. Wouldn't that be the kicker? So let's get out there and get this battle started. He's just going to have that one unit starting out all by his lonesome. Guess who's going to be the target? Right there. Boom, away, guys. Clearly, easily flying those projectiles over our troops. Let's hope it remains easily. Now he's moving up towards our line of fire. I'm fine with that. And where are we seeing the infantry? Coming in behind us. So we're going to have to scatter and scatter quick. So surprise, guys, surprise, surprise. We'll get this line infantry running over here to set up. We're going to get the rest of our line infantry over here, also over here to line up. Charge in with our cavalry to blunt them a little bit. In fact, let's get our line back here a little farther. Running. And we got to get my other cavalry unit over on this side. We're going to go straight square for anybody else that's left over here to help us out. We're going to bring more square because they are loaded to bear with cavalry right off the bat. We're going to limber up here. Stop firing, limber up, and reorient our artillery. Unfortunately, our cavalry and our own cavalry is fading, but we have square to back us up right now. In fact, we'll bring another unit over here to get square formation in depth. And we're waiting on our other cavalry that's almost here to help us out. So they caught me by surprise. The map, either I just got backwards, reversed somehow. Okay, we're going to hold our cavalry because our square formations have done the job here. We did break his unit here, so this side is strong, so it's time to get our reserve units to the other side of the battlefield to help us out where we're going to need them the most. cavalry did not leave the field in total, so that's good. Square formation's holding up so far. Got our units ready to fire, but they started moving out of range again. We need to get back into square formation, guys. Did we get that decimated where we couldn't hold the formation? Or did I accidentally click on you to make you move? I've been known to do that before too. Let's get you guys running the rest of the way. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get you out of square formation because pretty soon now their line infantry is coming up. Let's get out of here and retreat. Time for square formation has ended. We got to get ready for their line infantry now. Where's our other infantry unit coming up? Come on, run, guys. We're needing you now. We got holes in our line. Grenadiers running up. Let's get our moving up. I don't know how to position the artillery at the moment. We're going to try them over here. Got more regiment of horse over here. We're going to try interrupting their charge. Keep you battle-weary guys as our reserve over here. Okay, let's withdraw the cavalry. This unit here is also going to come back in reserve. And our line, due to fire by rank, is patchwork, put together, and now is holding. So it's time to reorient the backup and our reserve, so maybe we can make a push on these guys. First of all, getting some units over here to our weakest side, I believe. And then getting these units also moving up towards the center. And we've put together some kind of a patchwork. The artillery are not ready to get firing yet. Until we've dealt, let's get you guys firing, please. Zigzag line here. You're kind of exposed, especially with more coming up, so let's do this. Let's get our line straightened up. And fire by rank from this unit on their flank. Help them out. Probably need to pull back a little bit. In fact, let's run behind this wall to help you out. You're a little decimated. We have units over coming to support you. Get them running behind that wall. We'll use that wall to our best advantage. reserves over here. They are gladly or kindly moving into like a hornet's nest where we've got some multiple angles against them here rather than as they started out going against the flank. So what did they do? They moved in a way to help us out. I guess perhaps they felt this move by us to try and take these walls would be too difficult to overcome. But they are not in a kind position for themselves right now. Charge and it failed. Withered under the fire of fire by rank. Yeah, they don't know which way to form their line. That's their problem. Folding left and right. Even without any artillery support, we're able to maintain a constant barrage of fire. I think what we'll do is get the cavalry active again. Go against their retreating units a little bit. Hopefully before they can retreat all the way off the battlefield and do some more damage, because they will try retreating to their fort. In fact, this one's trying to reform. That's where we will go first. We've got the wall positions here to protect us, so we shouldn't be taking too much damage. The only downfall to the wall that protects us, so we can't take advantage of fire by rank. So this battle goes on a little longer because of that. Our cavalry charge, yes, everything's withering over here. Let's see how much, hopefully we can do some damage before everybody escapes. Alright, so the gunfire is subsiding. It's time now to bring forces over here to end this battle. Pretty much a foregone conclusion, especially now that we've got this fire coming on their flank. So we're going to send one of the cavalry units over here, and the battle should be ended pretty quick. Rather than end the battle, I'm going to continue running them down to hopefully keep these last two units from escaping. We'll come right back once that's done. Alright, we got ourselves a close victory. I'm sure we took a lot more casualties based on those early cavalry charges than normally we should have if they had come in on the expected side, but we regrouped and our guys fought tough, so we'll take the victory. Hopefully they're going to be weakened down for the upcoming battle for the capital. Alright, we lost 842 to their 1899, so that will wither their force more than mine. So they deployed 3,851 to my 4,976, so we still will have a nice, I think, yeah, we'll have a nice 2-to-1 ratio now, which is even better than it would have been, I think, for this upcoming battle. Alright, successful mission. So our agents are still embedded. We'll just go right through there unless it tells me one of them has failed. Nope, our agents are still embedded. We got our 12-pounder to help with the siege. We got our first second-rate ship of the line. We're going to head that one right up to the North Sea, and our Portuguese militia is there for that last port. And some of our smaller little buildings are getting built. Well, they didn't get any big push over here. We got some consolidating maybe of army here. I'm not sure where the other one went. Possibly headed toward Nagpur, so we have a bit more of a battle there. I don't know if we're quite able to move out yet. It doesn't quite look. I'm gonna wait for that magistrate till next turn before we move this army. So we're kind of under control here. I think what we're going to end up doing is calling this episode now, because that battle probably took us to our time limit, I would imagine. And what we know we're going to have ahead of us is the final push to end the Genoa capital here. And let's see if our artillery, yes, we can bring the artillery over. Since we do have forts to deal with, that will just make it that much easier when we do the attack, and that's probably what we'll open with next time. So hope you enjoyed the episode. We finally did manage to get a battle in there. We got a lot of repositioning, a lot of movement going on for some upcoming stuff to keep this thing going, and hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you're thinking. You guys have been pretty quiet who are watching this episode. I'd love to hear from some of you and get some feedback. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hope to see you next time.